behind me is Gifford Park North. This is the pole of a sign that used to say property closed 24/7 for any purpose whatsoever. It's been there for a long time. We begged that we get it. We begged that we make some form of park. We begged. We sued the city. We sued everyone. We didn't win. From 2017, we still haven't won. This is something that the director must address. Not just here, but the director must address everywhere. Because in public policy, the most important thing is to trace the dog that did not bark. There is a reason why the dog that did not bark didn't bark. And one of those reasons, more often than not, is what we've been after for our entire 31-year career in American public policy. Why did the dog bark? Well, because the dog didn't really have a voice, right? Because there's so many factors why the particular dog was silenced by other more fancy, more powerful dogs, right? In Romania, we say, democracy, but just not for the little dogs. Well, we want democracy for all the dogs, for all the little dogs, for all the little us, for me, for not just me, but for my silenced, otherwise, little girl who, at the age of 18 months, she was nearly kicked out of her childcare center because she was a slower learner, because she was learning across 2 languages, right? And that is probably true for a lot of our youth who somehow or another are singled out for one reason or another. In fact, it gets to be almost national policy that we prefer to single out people and kick them out. No, that isn't true. This is not right. Every person is a person, no matter how small. And that is the law. That is the Constitution. That is a fundamental trait of our country on which it was established, right? Life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness for everyone. Now, it does start with your ability to enjoy oxygen. There's actually, you will find that there's actually nothing much more valuable. There's nothing more valuable than your ability to enjoy oxygen, right? Even water, you can actually live without water a little bit more than 2 minutes. That you can live without oxygen. You can only live without oxygen for 2 minutes. So if somebody comes to you and says, hey, here's a piece of gold, but you have to agree that you tear down all these trees, you better say no. You better say no. Yeah, but look at all this money. You have to agree that you tear down all these trees. You better say no. If you haven't learned that you have to say no to that, devil's trade-off, in other words, trees for gold or trees for stealing money, you need to go back to some form of schooling, right? Now, we got lucky, and we planted trees as early as, 7 years of age. And we got lucky in Gifford Park that we do the same as neighbors to and with all of our children, right? Now, we want the parks to belong to the people. They belong to the people. Because they belong to the people, the parks must be of the people. So what does that mean? Well, the director shall use their ability to partner with all the partners that can make happen a whole lot of things. We call it science and arts in parks, across all of the parks and recreation facilities across Omaha. This is my promise to you. You own the parks, might as well use them. But let's use them in such a way as for our youth to learn from every single moment that they spend in a park. And they learn how important oxygen is. Thank you.